These are the type of things that you don't hear on MTV. Wow! I'm not gonna lie, because any man in my position, or guy in my position, would definitely enjoy all the attention that the girls give us. So, you know, we do love it, you know. So, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't.
Nicholas Gene Carter, commonly known as Nick Carter, is a multi-talented entertainer who has been active in the music and acting industry for over 2 decades. Born in Jamestown, New York on January 28, 1980, Carter was drawn to performing at a young age and began pursuing his dream of becoming a singer and actor in his early teen years. In 1993, Carter joined forces with 4 other young musicians to form the Backstreet Boys, a pop boy band that quickly rose to fame with their catchy songs and energetic performances. Over the years, the Backstreet Boys became one of the most successful boy bands of all time, with hits like I Want It That Way, As Long As You Love Me, and Shape of My Heart earning them a devoted global fan base and numerous awards and accolades. In addition to his work with the Backstreet Boys, Carter has released several solo albums and starred in television shows and movies. He has demonstrated his versatility as an entertainer with roles in shows like 8 Simple Rules and films like The Hollow. His passion for music has led him to explore different genres, including country and electronic dance music. However, much like many other Hollywood celebrities, there are now allegations coming out against Nick Carter that are maligning his once good boy reputation. In November of 2017, Melissa Schuman, a former member of the all-female group Dream, made allegations of sexual assault against Nick Carter. Schuman claimed that the incident occurred in 2002 when she was 18 and Carter was 22.
But I want to start by asking, why did you decide to come forward? Why put yourself through this?
Well, I actually did try to come forward when it happened. I had actually confided in my manager at that time about pressing charges. And I was told that he had the most powerful litigator in the country and that I didn't have the money to pay for an attorney to essentially defend me if he were to come after me. And then he was also just like, you know, you're trying to build a name for yourself right now. Everyone's going to call you, you know, fame hungry, that you're trying to use this to better yourself or get your name out there. And, you know, at this point, like, there's nothing we can do. And I remember telling him, like, oh, so that's it? Like, he just gets away with it?
Now, according to Schuman, the two were working together on a movie when Nick Carter invited her back to his apartment in Santa Monica to listen to some music. Is that what we're calling it these days? Schuman alleged that Carter then took her in the bathroom and forced her to perform oral on him despite her repeated protests. She then went on to allege that he essayed her even more. Nick denied these allegations, stating that the sexual encounter was consensual. He also pointed out that the statute of limitations for this crime had also previously expired, making it impossible for Melissa to file actual charges against him. And that's where it's got me kind of really messed up, because, like, if you didn't do this, why would you point out that there's a statute of limitations? That's just sketchy to me. That's just my personal opinion. However, these allegations sparked a larger conversation about sexual assault and the treatment of women in the entertainment industry. And you would honestly have to be living under a rock for the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years if you didn't really know how women were treated in the entertainment industry. They're treated like shit. Now, many people, including fellow musicians and members of the Me Too movement, spoke out in support of Schuman, and they called for accountability and justice. The fallout from the allegations was significant for both Carter and Schuman. Now, Nick didn't get away from this unscathed. He faced a lot of public backlash and was dropped from several projects, including a planned appearance on the TV show Dancing with the Stars. Now, Melissa, on the other hand, faced a lot of online harassment and bullying. We all know how that can go when someone speaks out about someone's favorite, especially like the Backstreet Boys. If you grew up in the 90s and you listened to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, you know how these people would go to bat for these boys. It's really just strange and odd behavior. And I was even watching TikToks earlier about this, and people are defending Nick and not even listening to what actually came out recently. It's really just a mess. And Melissa ultimately ended up leaving the entertainment industry to focus on other pursuits. Now, of course, these allegations had significant consequences for both parties involved, highlighting the need for accountability and justice in such cases. Now, many years later, in August of 2022, Melissa reposted TikToks about the situation between her and Nick that were going viral after a discourse was started about Nick and his problematic past.
2002, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys allegedly coerced Ashley Rupp to give him oral. She told a detective that she didn't want to and was clearly intoxicated, but that he kept pressuring her to do it until she finally gave in.
Now flash forward to December of 2022, and Nick is in the news again with more of the same allegations. A former fan named Shannon Shea Ruth actually came forward and launched a lawsuit against Nick for the alleged crimes that he committed against her, alleging that Nick had given her a pink drink that he called VIP juice and proceeded to do unthinkable things to her.
After Shea threatened to tell people what had happened, he grabbed and bruised her arm and screamed at her, calling her, and I quote, a retarded little bitch, while scornfully saying that no one would ever believe in her. He told Shea that she would go to jail if she said anything, because he's Nick Carter and he can do that. To make Shea's trauma even worse, Carter infected her with the sexually transmitted infection HPV. That is significant because during our investigation, we spoke with other women that Carter also sexually assaulted and infected with HPV. He's spreading a sexually transmitted infection that can cause vaginal warts and even cancer.
Now, of course, this started a lot of discourse between people that are now fans of Backstreet Boys and Nick Carter specifically. There's a lot of people that feel sorry for Nick Carter because we all know that Aaron Carter just passed away, which is incredibly sad. But I really don't like the discourse that has been started saying that all of these people are making this up against Nick. But I believe that we need to let the due process of the court system and the legal system do what they need to do to basically uncover what actually really truly did transpire. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers and say, oh, I think this person's wrong or oh, I think this person's wrong, because that's just not the right thing to do in this situation. I believe that we should hear Shannon out and listen to what she has to say, because she, in my opinion, is a victim in this situation, and my opinion nor your opinion is going to really factor into what's going to come out of this court case. But after all of this news broke, the Backstreet Boys had all kinds of different things planned for Christmas. There was a special, I believe that was with ABC or Fox, that was canceled, and there's a whole slew of other things that have now been canceled with the Backstreet Boys because of this situation with Nick. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you follow Nick Carter? I've never really been a follower of Nick Carter. His TikToks come across my feed sometimes. I'm just not really that interested. And honestly, I think that he does have the capacity to do this. I'm not saying that he did this, but we all know how those famous people are when it comes to them and meeting new people. They believe that they can do and say whatever they want because they have so much money, and any allegations that come out about them, they'll either pay someone off or do other things. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. I would really be interested to see what you guys think about this. Have you heard about this? I know that Sloan actually reported on this, and he's getting a lot of heat for this, allegedly from the family of Nick Carter. I don't know if that's true or not. I do believe that there was text messages sent. I just don't know if I believe that it came from this family, because trolls are really bad, and we all know that it's very possible that someone could have got a fake number and sent him these threatening messages, which is absolutely not cool. But you guys, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.